What's up everyone, ASRock here today, and we are going to do a little something different on the channel. We're going to go on PC Part Picker. This is a wonderful website to get into when you're wanting to build a PC, and that's kind of what I wanted to do today, is have a PC build of the month, this month being July, and it was kind of beneficial because I could focus on the build that I recently transitioned from an older build to a new build. I could overuse and kind of centralize it around one part. First, I want to talk about PC Part Picker. It's a wonderful place to start if you're interested in PC building. They have build guides here, they have completed builds, example builds, all right here. You can see first build ever, 4-core Ryzen APU. They show you there's numerous builds with wonderful detail ranging from $13,000 to $200 bills. There was actually a water-cooled, I think, a Nintendo DS Lite the other day posted on here. But there's also a bunch of blogs. You can ask questions. This is a wonderful site again. And the best part about this is their builds kind of part guide. Actually, I need to throw something in here. Just quickly choose that. And today I wanted to talk about, like I said, focus around one thing was from my previous build. I have this Cooler Master Masterbox Lite tempered glass edition just laying around in my office, and I wanted to kind of centralize the July PC build around this case. It's a wonderful case, tempered glass side panel, solid, it goes evenly with the side. You can actually get a glimpse of it right here. Since my current motherboard is being RMA'd, I had to revisit my old build, but you can see it's a wonderful case. We'll get into pull up another tab, get in some pictures of it. You can see the front panel bezel right here. I think that is white, I can't tell. Nope, it's black. And this acrylic front side panel lets you see LED fans if it's inside, but these small customizable vents, I'm gonna call them, are able to change between red, as you can see the slight bit of red right here, red, white, and black. So those are interchangeable. Comes with a USB 3, a USB 2.0 port, a headphone jack, a microphone jack, and a power and reset button. It does come with one Cooler Master fan in the back, a MicroATX case, wonderful. The best part I liked about it, it's a cheap tempered glass chassis. As you can see, a lot of them go for around $34 to $40. And as you can see, it does have that 3.0 hard drive cage, which is removable. I'll pull it up on this picture. You can see right here, and the power supply will go right here. Unfortunately, no power supply shroud, but it is a budget case. So it was a wonderful case at the time, but when I transitioned, I have this laying around. So I wanted to focus on kind of a budget build around this case. First off, I wanted to kind of stay away from DDR4 pricing, because unfortunately 16 gigabytes is kind of what I need because I multitask, having a bunch of Chrome tasks open, gaming and streaming sometimes, or a lot of times, and the number one way to get around these prices is to go for the DDR3. And right here, this is just the simplest kit of 2x4 gigabyte that I can find. What's wonderful, another wonderful thing about PC Part Picker, is you can easily decide the cheapest option. So right here, I'm just going to jump in. You can see all these compatible DDR3 RAMs. What I'm going to do is select something at the 1600 speed. I'm going to filter it at a 2x4 kit, and then I'm just going to filter at the lowest price. And as you can see, that Patriot signature kit pops up, and what I can do is add from filter right here, and it has a parametric filter, so every time you go back and look at this PC Part Picker, it will have the cheapest RAM with that filter in it. So that's another wonderful PC Part Picker. But with the DDR3 prices choice, I should say, we do have to go with the lower end CPU, and I think the best budget CPU right now, especially if you can get it local, or a used price, is this 2400 quad-core processor. If you can string a few more dollars, you can get the 2600 or the 2600K. A little bit higher frequency, and with the 2600K you can overclock it if you have a good cooler. But this 4-core processor is wonderful for waiting for my motherboard to get back. Unfortunately, it does not have hyper-threading, but quad-core processor will do the trick, especially if I can get it at a used price. And another budget option is this Cooler Master T4. Being able to go with these 2 budget options, or I guess 3 budget options if you want to keep with the DDR3 RAM, is this Hyper T4 cooler, $24. Wonderful. It's got wonderful reviews and amazing performance. And for the motherboard, I did have to go with the MicroATX. I'm actually going to exit out this. And as you can see, in this motherboard, or in this filter for the motherboards, you will see no ATX. You will see many ITX, but you will not see any ATX, because it's trying to stay within this compatibility filter of the 2400 CPU, the DDR3. But we're just going to pick a compatible motherboard to run our systems. I think these motherboards you're probably going to have to buy used, or just a newer one on eBay. If you can find one that hasn't been used, that's wonderful. So those are our options there. And for storage, we went with this SSD, this inland SSD, one of the budget SSDs you can't see right here. I might be able to pop up a better picture right here that I took of the SSD. And this is in most Micro Centers for a very cheap price. This $25 for amazing performance. The story I always like to say or tell is when I had my first build, I had the Western Digital 1TB blue drive, and my boot time from pressing my power button to being able to open a Windows, or booting up Windows or opening up a Chrome was around 2 minutes 14 seconds to 2 minutes 13 seconds. But it's immediately when I switched over to an SSD, which is my current SSD right now, it lowered from that 2 minutes and some change to 12 seconds to 15 seconds, depending on what I wanted to do. So tremendous speed boost by going with the SSD at an amazing price. And right here, this is kind of a suggestion I wanted to do. I wanted to budget for that $100 GPU. If I can find one at a good price, that'd be wonderful. If I can snag a 970 for around $100, that'd be amazing. Actually, my first build, I had a 970 I was able to grab for $115. So definitely deal hunting for a good performance, price for performance GPU is great. So just this 280X is a good option with this Asus direct copper cooler. It's going to do the job and stay within that budget. Lastly, I want to talk about is this EVGA power supply. So every Wednesday, EVGA has a B stock, which is kind of their backlog of inventory. And a lot of these power supplies go on sale for around $20 to $30. I think this is kind of a must, and what the best part about this is if it's DOA, dead on arrival, you can send it back because it's a guaranteed 1-year warranty. So you can send it back, get a new one. So this is a wonderful option, especially for budget builds. I was able to spec out this 600 watt power supply because if we are going with a Radeon R9 graphics card, we're going to need that little bit of headroom. You can see this TDP wattage, which is another great PC part picker tool. Is you can see that max TDP is 434 watts and with no overclocking. So we do want a 50 to 100 watt buffer with this TDP, and that is around 534 watts, so that is 100 under the 600 watt power supply. So total, this is around the $350 range. I think this is a wonderful budget build for waiting for components to come in, if you need a backup component, or if you're even starting, this is a wonderful entry-level PC, gaming PC, multitasking PC if you end up going for that 16 gigabytes of RAM. Actually, if we go for this, we go into memory and go for that 2 by 8 gigabyte kit, because I think the motherboard we choose only has 2 DIMM slots. And we go to this lower pricing, and we can get that 2 by 8 gigabyte kit, and it's still within that $400 range. And I'm saying that even though the motherboard pricing isn't there, it's still going by the retail price of the $2,400. If we go used parts for this motherboard, we can easily pick up a $2,400 and the motherboard for around $90. So $400 build for the PC July build of the month. If you like videos like this, feel free to like and subscribe. I'll definitely try to keep these up going forward for the August. I think I already have something in mind. But if you want to see me build this, I most likely will. Feel free to tweet at me at ShinyMarnock or comment below. Let me know that you want to see this build, see all the B-roll, and see the performance of it. But you'll have to let me know. Thanks for stopping by.